Hey everyone, today I'm going to quickly talk about BoJack Horseman Season 5, adding some clarity to the ending, as well as analyzing BoJack's struggle throughout this entire season. And there will be spoilers ahead, so definitely keep that in mind. There was no doubt that this season was reflecting a lot of the relevant social movements happening in Hollywood, specifically bringing up Season 5, Episode 4, BoJack the Feminist. The episode Vance Wagner is introduced to us, a man who is so awful and unredeemable. When we first see him, he almost sexually assaults a female officer and yells that he hates Jews. But after this incident, he just apologizes for it and then goes to star in a movie. He later hits a woman with a baseball bat and claims that he matured since then and that he loves women now, but then threatens to kill his 14-year-old daughter. And because of that, he retires from the public life, only to then be brought back into another TV show. Some issues people were having with this season of BoJack Horseman was the fact that BoJack and the other characters are all just going through the same old cycle that we've seen them repeat in every other season. But this repetition is essential to the show and its characters. BoJack shares a lot of parallels with Vance. Both of them keep treating people terribly and then continue with their career, whether it would be starring in the next big movie or TV show. Bad people keep doing bad things. This season is discussing the moral conflict that comes with the celebrity doing terrible things, but then saying it's all in the past and they've changed, while being constantly forgiven by the public. But if they didn't learn anything or truly recognize their wrongdoing, or if they're just scum, they won't change and they'll just keep getting forgiven in the public eye. And that's life. That's the reality of it. Vance is a representation of a poisonous cycle that keeps repeating. He casually tells Princess Caroline that he sexted a 12-year-old and then says he's sorry for it while getting a bunch of other offers for acting roles. It's hypocrisy, and that's the main issue BoJack is struggling with. When on the Squawk, BoJack becomes praised for people's misinterpretation on what he was saying and creating so much false meaning from his words. BoJack gets behind this movement when he hears the audience cheering him on after claiming someone needs to take a stand. And the most important line of the episode is BoJack saying, "This is the old BoJack talking, but how about we don't choke any women?" All of the audience cheers, and he is a hero to all women everywhere. Yet in episode 11, when BoJack is really drugged up, he ends up strangling his female co-star Gina on the set of Filbert, and the hypocrisy continues throughout the season. In season 5, episode 5, BoJack claims, "No show should have this much talking. TV is a visual medium." Yet the next episode, Free Churro, consists entirely of a 25-minute monologue. And that's clearly not a bad thing like choking your co-star. It's just my favorite thing that I noticed this season, and I really wanted to incorporate it in this video somehow. Anyway, Diane is the only one who recognizes the liars in the show, and even recognizes her own wrongdoing. Anna Spanakopita tells Diane that Vance has a troubled past, and all he's asking for is a fresh start. And Diane says no. Why does he get that over and over? Diane knows Vance isn't going to change, and because of his routine behavior, it's not going to get any better. She later holds herself accountable when Girl Crush is pivoting towards video and wants Diane to be the face of the site. But after publishing so many takedowns and in a sense manipulating social media, Diane recognizes that she herself is a hypocrite, saying that she can't be a trusted news source, an authority, or a role model for anybody. BoJack hasn't been sober in like 30 years, and this is a contributing factor as to why he hurts so many people in his life. He doesn't do anything about it, even when it caused the death of Sarah Lynn after a month-long bender. When in Doctor Who's office, trying to get feel betterance, BoJack is told by Who that he sought out to find help and completely sobered up after Sarah Lynn's death. You know, someone who died from an OD. Who claims that you would have to be a real lost cause not to seek help, and BoJack tries to justify his refusal to get help, saying, "I mean, you know, get help or work out a system on your own." However, BoJack's system was drinking a bottle of vodka every day and becoming addicted to pills. Gina and Hollyhock both confronted him about his addiction, but because BoJack didn't seek help and continued his reckless lifestyle, it drove him to commit assault on Gina. But what separates BoJack from Vance is the fact that BoJack wanted to get better. He recognized that he was a monster. In the last episode of this season, BoJack is given a get out of jail free card to clear things up with Gina on social media, but he chooses to let out the truth, saying, "I'm gonna come clean about everything." The only reason he didn't was because Gina didn't want to be attached to BoJack for the rest of her career. He later wants Diane to write a takedown article about himself, letting every bad thing he has ever done out there. Yet Diane says that won't happen, because just like Vance, no one's gonna hold BoJack accountable. She also tells him, "You need to take responsibility for yourself," just like she did earlier in the episode, when turning down becoming the face of Girl girl crush. In a previous argument between BoJack and Diane, BoJack says, "I'm the one who has to live with this. I'm the one who has to feel the guilt all day, every day," claiming that he suffers the most from the actions of BoJack. BoJack has repeated the same cycle throughout these 5 seasons, hurting so many people from his self-destructive behavior, just like Vance. But in episode 4, when Diane is talking to Spanakopita, she questions Diane on what she would have Vance do if she could make him do anything, and Diane replies with nothing. She didn't think he can make things right. The fact that she's driving BoJack to rehab tells us that she believes BoJack can somewhat redeem himself. In the end, BoJack is holding himself accountable when he is outside of the rehab clinic, and it's mentioned rehab might not be a solution. Rehab might fail, and BoJack could still be a terrible person after. But nobody has a happy ending, because life will just continue until it doesn't. And Diane was right. People are not good guys or bad guys. They're just guys who sometimes do bad things and sometimes do good things. People should just try to do less bad and more good. Mr. Peanut Butter is someone who should learn from this. He has 3 failed marriages and is told that he needs to grow up, or the women in his life will keep outgrowing him. He cheats on Pickles with Diane, but instead of telling Pickles, the only solution that he comes up with is proposing to her. He can't face reality and he doesn't grow as a person, so he gets another doomed marriage and repeats the cycle. For BoJack, it's not about defeating the main problem and overcoming his messed up past, or alcoholism, or drug addiction, and the fact that he committed assault. It's about BoJack trying for the first time to get better, admitting that he needs help, and facing his problem so that he can try to do better things, not breaking out of this cycle, but working towards giving himself the chance to. I love BoJack Horseman so much. This is the most real and relatable show I've ever seen, and its main character is a horse. Anyone I know can find a part of themselves in BoJack, and this was my favorite season because the overall message was incredible. Let me know what you guys thought of this season in the comments, and subscribe to see more BoJack Horseman videos just like this one. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next BoJack Horseman analysis.